And welcome to the best of reel of RSR7. Happy New Year, y'all. What better way to start 2026 than looking back at the best moments of 2025 before we kick off RSR8 tomorrow with Mississippi State versus Wake Forest, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Looking back at all the amazing moments of our season. If you watched on the season finale, watch it again as a standalone video. If you haven't, welcome, enjoy. We're going to have some fun. Let's kick off 2026 the right way today and tomorrow. Let's have some fun together. Let's remember the good moments. Let's throw it back to past Ryan. Because yes, I'm a Patriots fan first who's bandwagoning the Steelers for reasons. Besides the Patriots sucking, I mean, that's not it. It's helpful. But the Bengals made the Steelers look like the Patriots right now. But it's not the reason the Patriots suck. It's different. But it's good to have a team that's somewhat good, who's actually in the playoffs, who will get knocked out next week. But still, maybe that's why they win. Maybe Harry Kane just dialed up some Steeler BS. And I hope he's right. I may actually become a fan of the guy if he did. But he doesn't know nothing about the NFL besides Tom Brady. At least I know more about the NFL than him. But if he transferred his curse to the Ravens, thank you, Harry Kane. I actually like you. But you're wrong. 6 straight playoff losses. He hasn't won a playoff game since the Obama administration. 3 presidents ago. Well, about to be 3 presidents ago. And 2 of those presidents are the same guy. And one of them was Obama's wingman, who wasn't cool anymore. He just went senile. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game since the Obama administration. That was 8 years ago. And I think it was the year he gave over power. Before he gave over power. Hell, I think the AFC title game that year was actually before he gave over power too. But I have to check that. Well, no. Oh, wait. Oh. No, maybe. No. The AFC title game was in Super Bowl 51 was 17. So no, it was. Yeah, so I have to check that. But looks like a damn lacrosse jersey when I put it on. It's very flowy and it's still small. It's not that fun. Like one of my subs back in high school said, "Is that a lacrosse jersey?" And then I hated it from that moment. But I still got use out of it until a couple of years ago when I got the first maroon football jersey that was a lot tighter. So what? Late 2022. Still got a lot of use out of it though. Of course, that baseball jersey started to replace it too. But it's like every play, a Packer was down holding his damn leg, screaming, "My leg!" like the fish from SpongeBob. Everyone! Let's be honest. Notre Dame, well, they went to Atlanta to go to the National Championship Casino. They played blackjack, won the jackpot in 1 round, had a perfect hand, and said, "Let's play some more." They had all the money they needed. They could have just went home after 1 round. They kept playing. They kept playing. And dumbly enough, just kept busting out and just lost all their money. But they had just a little bit left. They started getting better hands. But they went for broke, went all in on their final hand, busted, and well, go to casino, spend all your money, watch all your money disappear. The National Championship Casino. This year in Atlanta, where you can only win national championships in blood diamonds. Blood diamonds. And Notre Dame, well, defensively, they were trash. They were trash defensively. And that's really the story of the game. Defensively, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. After that first half was over, what they should have done was go to the net! They didn't. Ball crossed in. Brian Wright, all he had to do was stick his foot out. That goes in. It doesn't. That could have been 1-0. You couldn't do it. You can't go undefeated. Tom Brady didn't go undefeated. The things that he hasn't done, you haven't done. And by the way, that meltdown you just put on national TV, Patrick, was in front of Tom Brady's face. That's symbolism. Every time you really choke in the playoffs, Tom Brady is just a hair away from you. The AFC title game, Super Bowl 55, Super Bowl 59. When Tom Brady's around, the fake GOAT sleeps. And nothing Chucky Goodell could do about it. As Kendrick Lamar likes to say, they not like us. Or should I say, Patrick not like Brady. Sit down, be humble, Patrick. The Eastern White Pine kit from the New England Revolution. It's honestly ripping off the timbers last year with fake trees. Just like the Revs went and ripped off Toronto with their home kit last year, they chose to rip off the Portland Timbers, but use fake trees. I know there's a tree on the Massachusetts flag. I know that. But there's more red to that flag as well. They've done better. They've done better tree red flag kits. New England. This is it's like, hey, we got a good idea. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's a Timbers ripoff with fake dot matrix trees, and there's no red to be seen on the kit. Like if that's what the Revs are doing, I can't wait to see who they rip off next year. Because they ripped off Toronto last year. They ripped off Portland this year. Let's see who they rip off next year. If I'm still able to do these countdowns. The tech might not be there is my point. The Adidas template really doesn't work. Yeah, I agree with that. Chicago fans, you could run me down and say, hey, you should have believed in us. You should have believed in Greg. Freaking t-shirt, sweatpants, sneakers, Berhalter, Burger King, desk jockey. That's what you should be. Berhalter. Maybe. I don't know. But just wait. 14th. Yeah, RSL, get out. Get out. Get out. Clowns of the week. RSL are the clowns of the week. Clowns, clowns, clowns of the week, of the week. This team here are the clowns of the week. Get out! Bye. They were absolutely fragile. Fragile, that's what they were. Fragile. They were fragile. They were fragile, fragile, whatever you want to call it. They broke like a leg lamp. Horrible football from Houston. I mean, you wish, if you're a Houston fan, they showed up better. But I said they would regress this year more than they already have, and they are. It looks like they are regressing very hard. It sounds really familiar to me. I've seen this movie before. Tim Bezbatchenko leaving the club. Club sells their best players, goes into Champions Cup, thinking they can handle it. And they don't. They do the complete opposite of handling it. The round of 16 at the very least. And they crash out. Seems really familiar to me. Now, I'm not crashing out this time because I'm not a Crew fan. But maybe there's some Crew fan out there like me 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that's crashing the hell out right now. I don't know. And forgets to mute their damn TV while they're crashing out on camera. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, that first half Well, he wasn't even much better the second half, but that first half was horrible. What you should do is send tapes of that first half of football to Gitmo. It's a good form of torture. And while you're at it, send Kieran Dewsbury Hall to Gitmo with those tapes. Because, God, I never want to see him wear a Chelsea shirt ever again. He's worse than Drinkwater. Drinkwater was actually useful. America has not won the Champions Cup in 9 years. No joke. 9 years. And this is the team to do it. If they're going to break that streak and get number 8. La Ocho. It's going to be now. It has to be now. It has to be. The time is now. Whatever. And now Canada's coping. Look at One Soccer. They're coping like that's amazing. It's all on the line. You realize why it mattered during the Four Nations face-off? It was a final. Like, yay, a bronze medal. Why not make it a potash medal? For the tariff war. How about that? Make it a potash medal. Right? Might as well. Might as well put Justin Trudeau's face on the medal. You mean Mark Carney? Oh, put Mark Carney's face on the medal, eh? Donald Trump on one side, Mark Carney on the other. And the loser gets the Pierre Poilievre trophy. For blowing a lead. For blowing the biggest opportunity they ever had. One side, the loser of the third place match gets the Pierre Poilievre trophy. They blew the biggest opportunity they ever had. The winner gets a medal, the bronze medal with Donald Trump's face on one side and Mark Carney's on the other. Perfect idea. And it's potash instead of bronze. Yeah, that's a perfect idea. Might as well. You want to get ratings? Forget the bronze. Let's do something different. And the winner gets Greenland. Let's do something different. The winner gets Greenland. And of course, we talk about the Nathan Ordaz palm strike to the face of Maxi Falcon. You thought it'd be funny to Falcon punch him. Falcon punch! Get out! No, he doesn't get out. No red card, just a yellow. And again, as I said, CONCACAF is probably kicking themselves in the ass for not sending him off after he scored the goal to put Miami down. They send him off. Miami's up a man. Best 11. Messi's back. They score at least 2. With the way they played, they score at least 2 or 3. They had you cooked. They had you cooked. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They had you cooked. And y'all still almost got away with it. Sadly, this ain't Liga MX, and Hamburglar can't help your ass here. He can help your ass over there. He can't help your ass here. So, Cruz Azul did the same thing Pachuca did. Get screwed over in the Liga. Win in Champions Cup. Okay. So, hey. Pachuca and Cruz Azul are brothers at something, I guess. There you go. With that being said, ha! 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 Get out! You blew it. My God, since then, this team has been ugly. Possession for the sake of possession. They can't score. Hey, you know what to do? Go to the net! But no. Enzo Maresca, it's his system, his way or the highway. Especially now it's been more than half a year. You know what? You should go on the highway. Get out! You don't touch the mountaintop and then go back down to the valley. You can't do that. This ain't a Marvin Gaye song. You can't do that. You can't tease people with victory and conquest and then proceed to be a pensioner again with no clothes, living in a box. You can't do that. That's impossible. Nobody is going to sit there, be like, I just ate Benihana for the 500th time this week. 3 weeks later, they're eating banana peels. You can't do that. They're eating shit on a sandwich. You can't do that. Vancouver might lose down in Mexico, because the good news is, if you want Vancouver to lose because your team sucks and you still want them to be the first Canadian team to win the trophy, which they probably will take 30 years to do unless they call the pirate, but whatever. And for some reason, the Department of Player Safety is going to be like Ferrari during F1 and be like, we are checking to see, look at it, be like, no, it was the puck to his head. He doesn't get suspended or a fine. Hell, Anthony Stolarz gets a $1,000 fine for putting his head in the way. That's what George Peros is going to do. Lose their main goalie? Doesn't matter. Joseph Woll? Maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Joseph Woll. Maybe. I'm worried. I believe, but I'm worried. And I'm not really looking forward to a Game 7. I would rather down a couple ball bearings and shove myself into an MRI machine and become a human Claymore nuke, Claymore mine, than watch a Game 7 with the Leafs versus Panthers. That would be less painful, being a human Claymore mine. It would be. Because even if the Leafs win, it's still going to be painful watching a Game 7 against the Panthers. I can't wait to see you go to Chicago. Take your ass. I don't want you back. Goodbye. Take your punk ass to Chicago. That's what you should do. Hey, at least the noise won't overtake you there. Enjoy playing on the same line as Connor Bedard, the fraud. Maybe he'll actually... no, he won't. Then again, you've been playing with a bunch of frauds your whole career. Nothing's going to change. Goodbye. I don't want to see you ever again. Take your ass. But I'll tell you this, CM Punk won't like you. He doesn't like weak players. Enjoy him, CM Punk. Enjoy him. At some point, you're going to want to do the same thing you did to Jungle Boy to Mitch Marner. Definitely can't wait to see that video come out. That's going to be funny. Very funny. But one thing to say, you'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. Up the Chelsea. They're going to march him around town. They're going to march him around town. Shame. Game of Thrones style. Because he lost this game and lost them $9.5 million. Clowns. A bunch of clowns. Clowns of the week. America and Televisa. Get out! Fuera! Payaso de la semana. Fuera! We have the second round finished. It's been a year. Halfway done. They got it finished. It's like a project that you have like a year to get done. Or like a summer reading project. It's like, yeah, I'll do what I gotta do. And then you like read the book in May and then freaking write the essay in like early August, but on a longer time scale. Fourth place, Red Bull Salzburg. They do not deserve to be here. I know the UEFA ranking had them coming here. They do not deserve to be here. It's like the second car for Red Bull at the F1 level. The only thing crazier would be if New York Red Bulls were here, they did better than Red Bull Salzburg in the V-carb type slot. Right? Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull Leipzig is Max Verstappen. Red Bull Salzburg is Yuki Tsunoda. New York Red Bulls is Isaac Hadjar. Two of those aren't here, so point is, Salzburg is going to embarrass themselves like Yuki Tsunoda or anybody who's been in that Red Bull second seat since Daniel Ricciardo. Why? He cursed it. Either way, yeah, I know, Red Bull F1 reference and a Red Bull football reference. We are not a fan of Red Bull in this house, whether it's the drink, the F1 cars, even though I do have a soft spot for V-carb. I do like seeing them making Red Bull Racing look like idiots. And Christian Horner look like an idiot. Change your car! FIFA's dumb. They just want the money, which means they make less money. Infantino, I don't think he has a brain in that bald, shiny head of his. I really don't. Bro, I don't. With that being said, congratulations to Al Hilal. Commiserations to Man City. Blimey. We're out, says the Man City fan. Blimey. Blimey. We couldn't get him. 83rd minute. Malo Gusto makes a run into the box. Takes a shot across the face at goal. Runs through the hands of Weverton and into the net. Weverton turns into Vesatoskala and spills the ball. Well, he doesn't even catch it. It goes past his hands. What happened to his hands? Into the net. 83rd minute. 1-2. Malo Gusto sets it up. What a shot across the face of goal. Weverton really should have had that if he didn't turn into Vesatoskala. But, you know, whatever. This scoreline doesn't tell you anything. Watch the game. Yes, paper pop. Yeah, I'll do that. Haven't done one of these in a while. Let me tell you, once again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The scoreline doesn't always tell you how the game truly went. Unless sometimes looking at the scoreline tells you absolutely nothing about a game. Don't be a absolute casual. Paper pop. We could do a better one. That's better. Champions of the world, Chelsea. Man. Nobody has it better than us. We did it again. Nobody expected us to win, and we won. It's a Chelsea thing. We didn't scam this final, but nobody expected us to win, and we won. It's a Chelsea thing. Even me. Guess what? I guess Pacharo was right. Bet against my team, and they win. No, I'm not learning anything about it, but I'm glad I was wrong for once. You uncompetitive, idiotic, hand-egg guy. You do not know the sport of football. You should not call yourself the soccer don, because you are not. You don't know a damn thing about this sport. You jackass. There needs to be a person to actually grow this league who isn't a bean counter and a guy who doesn't even understand the sport. I think you created Sunday Ticket with Taffer. Yeah, go rescue bars with him. You'd probably be better at that. Probably. Just go away. Just go away. We don't need you anymore. You put the training wheels on this league to save it. They don't need it anymore. Trust me. Sometime a bird has to learn how to fly. And this bird can fly. Leave. You're done. Let somebody who actually knows the sport run it. But you won't. You're very egotistical, aren't you? Elitist. Go eat some breakfast with Toto Wolff. I don't want to hear from you. Toluca says the first goal doesn't count. You'll have to try again soon. One, that's just scummy. Second of all, dude, really? At least you didn't bite him. Which, that gives me a very good idea. If I ever get a Belgian Malinois, German Shepherd, or Cane Corso and train them to be a protection dog and a biting dog for protection, not towards the family, but, you know, protection, I'm naming them Suarez. Yeah, Belgian Malinois named Suarez. That's a genius idea. If they're in bite sports, genius idea. Either way. Hey, dummy! Hey, dummy! A World Cup's bigger than a Gold Cup semifinal, dummy! You embarrass me! You embarrass me! I should come down there and rip the World Cup qualifier patches off your sleeves, you shit kickers! I should! Dummy! Dummy, the only thing you have is a quarterfinal victory that sent you to a Gold Cup semifinal, and you make Canada look stupid, dummy! You embarrass me! Man, those fast slaps, again, he was banging them out like freaking McDonald's, hot cakes, McMuffin, freaking Big Macs, whatever you want to do. I mean, McDonald's sucks ass right now. It actually works perfectly, that comparison. McDonald's as a restaurant sucks ass now, just like Red Bull as a entity. The fact they have a tractor, the fact that Max Verstappen still just absolutely banged out all those fastest laps. like hotcakes. Dude's one of the best drivers of all time. I gotta say it. Like, dude might be the GOAT. Like, this is like 2010 Tom Brady. That Patriots team sucked ass, but Tom Brady was still MVP. Why do we always play Etienne against his former teams? It always feels like we do, and it bites us in the ass recently. It really does. Why? The spy is a double agent. Gentlemen. Seriously, though, he's a double agent. Gentlemen. It was awesome to see the Steelers play in Dublin. I wish I was in Dublin. That's an absolutely cool thing to see. Like, having Irish blood. It's awesome to see him play in Ireland. Having a beautiful reason to root for the Steelers. It's awesome to see the Steelers in Ireland. And frankly, I wish I was there to see this game. I wish me and that reason were there to see this game. But watching it on TV was pretty cool. Watching the game on TV was pretty cool. Seeing them play in Ireland at 8:30 in the morning is awesome, really. Cool. It's a very cool moment to see the Steelers play and win this game. George, savior of the Blue Jays. Nicely done, George. Nicely done. It was a good day for Georges today. Just saying. What a joke. Our bats were on for 3 innings and they just teased us. He just teased us. It was like, hey, I know you're feeling good. Well, I guess what? Blue balls from the Blue Jays? Wow. Wow. You do realize it's still October, right? What the hell are you doing, Beaudry? Why are you so off your line? I mean, seriously. What are you doing? No defensive help. You are in no man's land and you're doing that. You are doing that. Sorry, man. That's a hat flick, because if you're a goalie, tend the goal! Top 4, George on George violence. George Kirby says, blimey. After George Springer, George, savior of the Blue Jays, hits a solo home run off Kirby, 6-2. George Kirby said, blimey. That one's gone. Nicely done, George Springer. Nicely done. 6-2 Blue Jays. For the last time in this studio when it comes to a Toronto FC game, Toronto FC wins 4-2. 6 wins this season, 32 points. They finish above Montreal. The game didn't matter, but they played damn well. Probably played the best first half of their whole season. Probably top 2 best games of their whole season. Because you know what? Half the game went without a run. The only one that mattered was Freddie Freeman rests his head on a pillow made of concrete. Mariah Carey is defrosting, and the Blue Jays or the Dodgers will win a world championship tomorrow, and the loser will have Mariah Carey sing over their graves. Weirdly enough, a very popular, high-energy song. The Big Time Rush version's still better, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Really got dominated with the shots on the other end, but really, both teams really just pulled out the string, or played out the string. Pull the string. No, but they just played out the string tonight. 6-1 on my predictions. 6 out of 7. No, I'm not doing the meme. They will make the playoff, even though Lane is walking away like a punk. He didn't leave Oxford in a pine box, but then again, did Tommy Tuberville? No, he walked away too. I guess LSU's better than Auburn, though. Lando had a horrible start once again, as normal, because he cannot start to save his damn life. Except for, was it Singapore? Or was it Baku? Singapore. Singapore was the crash, or the bumper cars. He cannot start to save his own life. With that being said, You tell him, save your life, start the race perfectly, he'd be JFK'd. It's like somehow you write an essay that is bare minimum what the rubric tells you to write. Somebody else writes a Harvard level thesis, but somehow you get the A+ and they get a B. For what reason? I have no idea. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professor. I'm not a doctor. Because doctors are professors either way. Professors are doctors either way. You did what the rubric said, just what the rubric said. You got an A+. They did more, way over and beyond, and they got a B+. Yeah, you got an A+, but do you really deserve the A+? Not knowing what they did besides going over and beyond? Either way. That's what Mount Pleasant did. They got a star, and 2 of the 3 Canadian teams will have MLS Cup trophies. And that is the king of Canadian clubs, at least who believes they're the kings, and the redheaded stepchild of Canadian clubs. And Montreal still doesn't have one. There's a hole in Quebec that they call Montreal. Go to hell, Montreal, go to hell. F the team out east. Either way. You just knew that was coming. You just knew. You just knew that was coming. Come on, you knew. You knew. You knew if I had to take a shot, I would. Either way, that's all I have at this point. First goal, that was just dumb. I'm not going to find the highlight because I'm lazy right now. I really don't want to find the highlight. But let me tell you one thing. Even though I didn't find the highlight, I don't want to edit too much. It's still a hat flick for Cruz Azul because that was just bad. That was just bad. Just like that hat flick was honestly bad. Let me, hold on. Better. Well, that was better. I don't know. This ride's lower than a fitted. I think that's the problem. Either way, but we have to show respect, don't we? Because Saturday, the last time is now. We got to show some respect. Either way, see what I did here with like the colors of the hat? Yeah. No, that's not what you do. No, you go for it. You go for the kill. You go for the throat. And they proceed to say, hey, their foot's bleeding out. I will let it bleed. It stops bleeding for some reason. They get up and punch you in the mouth and take your pew-pew and shoot you straight dead between the eyes. And you're the one who dies. Good idea, Chief. Good idea, Chief. They're not the world champion, but they are the Intercontinental champion, which, as John Cena showed a couple of weeks ago, if you can't win the world title, the second best thing to be is the Intercontinental champion. Enough about that, though. Thank you, Cena. But enough about that, though. I don't know what it is about finals at Lusail Stadium, but every time there's a tournament in Qatar, I ain't gonna complain. Because if the finals played at Lusail Stadium, it is Kino. It is cinema. HBK, Shawn Michaels must be booking these matches. Dusty Rhodes must be booking these matches from beyond the grave. Vince Russo must be booking these matches because, let me tell you, these are cinema. I know Triple H ain't booking this. I know he ain't because he don't know how to actually book. He just takes the credit from people who know how to do it. But that's enough about that. Absolute cinema. Morocco wins the Arab Cup. And, hey, I'm happy about it. But damn, they could have done it much easier.